Greetings and salutations everyone, I'm Ekamak, this is Rebellion Day Compassion or whatever it was. I didn't have enough time to register that in my mind, but the dungeon is open. So this is probably going to be how I'm spending my evening. Yeah, it's Sunday. Actually, it's pizza night, I should probably get started on that. But yeah, we have all our ego, so we will be getting extra we are getting extra points for all this. Although I might have to do a little bit of finagling with the team, I'm not 100% sure. News of the war's getting grimmer by the day. The sea terrors are coming, swarming. This is the day when the ocean-born calamity broke and sunk Aege's seemingly infinite starward growth. Aren't you going to the surface, Mares? More and more people have been getting too anxious to stay in Aegea. I'm not. If Aegea falls, it only means the surface is soon to follow. Why? Think you'll head to the surface too? I'm thinking about it. Well, there weren't that many. People around me began to leave the surface. I considered some of them to be close acquaintances. They all tried to convince me to leave with them. But fleeing my home in favor of the land didn't feel right. The foretold calamity descended. It dealt a heavy blow to Aegea, but the surface suffered much worse. I had to help them. How could I not after hearing that such a terrible thing has happened? I think I'll head to the surface. Seriously, the surface? Think hard about it before you go. If you leave now, coming back might no longer be an option. Every day must be a struggle for them. At least I don't have to fear for the immediate tomorrow. So it's my responsibility to provide help as someone who's better off than them, even by a little. The funny thing is that it didn't matter whether she distorted or manifested ego in the long term, because either way she was trying to do something we could not let happen, so we'd have to boss fight her. It's simply that this has given her, this way it's given her an entire dungeon to backtrack through her personality and backstory. I know, but if I don't go there to help, things will only get much more dangerous for the land dwellers. Maybe that danger is the very thing that'll hurt you. I still think I have to help them. I procured myself an Aegerian research vessel at a cheap price to bring me to the land. Unable to even submerge itself while moving, this wasn't exactly the best ship out there. I normally wouldn't have given it even a second look. But I thought it would at least help me navigate the coastal sea. I didn't expect this. The very first thing I witnessed on the surface was the bottomless hostility against the Aegea. They denied my and Aegea's offer for help for the sole reason that I came from the sea. They denied my compassion, my research. Get lost! We don't need your stupid research. You're from the same place as that calamity, aren't you? Do you really think we're so stupid that we'd trust you? They confiscated my catalysts and tore my research apart. My wish to stand with them against the calamity was devoured by the hatred born of the same calamity. Any kindness, any compassion I gave them was repaid twofold in hatred and suspicion. Did the terrible conditions of this land transform them into monsters? Or was this always their nature? It wasn't long before the research vessel I brought from Aegea was confiscated out of suspicion. A few weeks later, when I finally came across that vessel by the beach, there was an uncanny name inscribed on its side, Rebellion de las Masas. But none of that was enough to stop me from continuing my research for the sake of the land dwellers. I went through so many trials and errors to somehow impede the sea terror's rapid evolution, to revive the Iberian soil contaminated by the Nether Sea brand. But my work hardly bore any fruit, and I let the days float by as I watched the Inquisition arrest the Aegea one by one. When my sea terror samples and research notes came into view, they all looked completely different from one another. Some of them with fundamentally different physiologies. Even still, nothing stopped them from being us instead of I. And for the first time, I became doubtful of my efforts to interrupt their evolution. Her tales were not entirely fabrications. Mares is a bishop of the Church of the Deep, so that automatically makes her a sinner in the eyes of the Inquisition, regardless of her reasons. The more I studied them, the more I found them to be such compassionate, altruistic creatures. All they cared about was their survival, without even a hint of selfishness. They're not some evil monsters from the sea. Mares, I concede that seaborns may not be evil, but it doesn't matter what they are. Whether they are kindly life forms or whether they are simply a different form of civilization, it doesn't matter. Because Iberia and her Inquisition does not define seaborns as evil. Seaborns are our enemy. Threats to human existence. I have but one thing to say as an Inquisitor. You, all of you, are my enemy. Don't tell me we're going to have a double boss fight of the two of them beating on each other. But it would be a good thing for the Inquisition if I were to leave for the city, wouldn't it? Why would you say that's a good thing for us to toss our problem into another world? That'll be like abandoning our pride. Unless they, the people of the city, give you permission, as an Inquisitor, I can't let you do that. Yeah, and don't get your hopes up about that either. You can wrap it in a box that says compassion for all you want, but Mares, your course isn't exactly the direction I'd like to sail in. As the rest of the sinners prepare for battle in silent agreement with Ishmael's stand, Mares mutters with genuine disappointment. I didn't want to have to do this. Waves. I had no better word to describe the horde of sea terrors crashing into us. But this is the only way it could have ended. Your words are composed entirely of your own color, and no one else's. Menegidante, right? Do speak. We will hold the line and defend this place against the sea terrors rushing in from the rear. So in the meantime, can you take down Mares and deal with the remaining sea terrors? Absolutely. The manager has responded affirmatively. All operators will be drawing the sea terrors to us. We don't need to take them all down. We just need to act as a wall between the wave and the people of Limbus Company. Irene, I would like to ask for your help as well. As for Amiya, please assist Limbus Company just in case. Okay then, let the mission begin. So does that mean we've still got 2 more cutscenes of utilizing the ego? Oh boy! I'm not used to having a dungeon map where I can actually see what I'm doing. Alright then. Let's think about this. Oh, and now they've got fixed Amiya announcer. Darn it.
행색이 이상하나. 그럼에도 이상이여. 내가 맞서. 내가 아시의 이상을 함께 줬던 호위 이상이여.
So that voice line makes me think I actually went back to listen to the Hell's Chicken event because I remembered reading somewhere that when Rassault is critiquing everyone's really bad work. Wait. There's no way that you one-shot that thing, is there? I'm actually not sure. No, it's entirely 100% possible to one-shot it. But anyway, as I was saying, I remembered reading somewhere that Ressort's rant against Yi Seng's particularly bad sort of cooking is actually a bunch of Yi Seng puns, the sort that Yi Seng would make. And that's why Yi Seng responds so helplessly against the critique. I actually went back and listened to the voice, and you can indeed hear the phrase Yi Seng over and over. Gain 3 Blood Flame next turn, so yes, I do want to do that. 15 enemies. We should be good. It is probably just my personal vendetta against the idea of power creep in Limbus Company, but I feel like this event's difficulty spikes shows how bad the attitude of let's just power creep everything in Limbus Company is. We can't save it. She's gonna lose her poise this turn. Honestly, even though everyone says that Sinclair has way too many... Okay, so making sure that I didn't interrupt, but people complain about how Sinclair has too many burn IDs, but I will give that his Heisho identity is actually really good for these short burn fights, because Blood Flame gives him SP regeneration on kill regardless, as well as SP regeneration on stagger, and that's something that I've been having a lot of trouble with in this content. We come across a cavern full of sunken ship remnants and golden treasures that have washed up inside. There are all kinds of unfamiliar sculptures and twinkling golden coins. There's a whole pile of treasures here. Hey, the records say that this used to be a ship that sailed all across Terra. It must be a ship built for conquest, built during the golden age of Iberia. Look, it says that this is a golden chalice made in Sargon. Combine an armada of tall proud sails, unparalleled technological innovation, and a certain king's greed, and you get this. King of Greed ego, maybe? It's the kind of glory we can barely hope to retrieve now. These items would be extremely valuable, but none of them seem very helpful for the situation at hand. Shall we continue to look just in case? Keep looking. Gluttony and Gloom. 2 of 3 coins. 3 of 4. Sinclair is the better odds. Sinner Sinclair picked out a golden compass from inside a weathered bag. The inscription on the compass indicates that it is an artifact created during the era of grand expeditions. How's this artifact so still intact? This place is only a bridge, made of items pulled from the group unconscious that are most appropriate for the Fathoms. I can't tell, they don't have any text indications. It may truly exist, but it may not be reality. Irene stares at the compass for a moment, tempted, before turning around, having accepted the fact that it probably isn't a real artifact. Gold forged compass obtained. When using a plus coin skill, heal 5 SP. Oh well, that's already the best thing we could have hoped for. Using a minus coin, lose 5 SP. Each unit's SP cannot drop below -40 from this effect, and only once per turn per identity. At max SP or -30 or less, gain power up and protection. I like this one a lot. So apparently, the two choices we have here are very difficult. I think, of course I could be wrong, it's just from a brief glimpse at the discussions page. The top one will be a rematch against what's his face, and at the bottom one will be a rematch against the knight. So naturally I'm going to give myself the worst time and go for the knight. I'm just stupid like that sometimes. Oh, good luck. Defense power up to highest resonance number of allies. Oh wait, 1 plus highest resonance other allies, so not everyone's going to get this. There we go, there's that compass. I've heard that they buffed these random dungeons by letting you keep your resources between each fight rather than it depleting over time, which is nice. But I could always be wrong, and that's not actually a thing now. I don't know. My attention span isn't that great. Still, they've actually given a proper name to jump into another type of to another person's defense, so I'm guessing that assist defense is going to be a consistent thing in the future rather than just being a unique forced and home glue sort of thing. We'll see. Also, it is another day, so we at least have our full charge on all our Superbia type stuff. You think at some point I would just learn the name of it properly, but you don't use it very often. Or I don't use it very often.
그래, 얘는 처리했고. 다음은 어디로? 그쪽 방향이 아닐 텐데.
You always flip tails when you're actually hitting them, don't you? I can never have nice things. Although I suppose I can't complain about the one that generates the nasty field taking too long to kill. That's actually to my benefit. Also, I think using an attack with attack weight on these guys does not actually trigger them even if they're the main target. So, I think it happened in a previous episode where I used Honglu's Thunderer to set it off, only it didn't get set off. Now that might have been because it was the last enemy on the field, but still I feel like that's an important lesson. Sinclair is probably going to beat it up, but we can't take the risk of him not.
너냐?
목을 떨궈주마. 자, 이 정도 탕류의 허물이다.
One shot.
혈염도 바로.
마음 놓고 열어젖히고.
Really? You're gonna do me dirty like that?
敵は深手を負っています。
18 enemies. I don't think that's worth the risk.
불가 위압 막아내지 못하리.
When you don't know what the final boss is going to be like, you have to play it safe with your ego resource generation.
너는 못 따라나.
깔끔하게 몰았군.
エリートオペレーター並みの腕前です。
Three of these jerks. They just never stop, do they?
시간 끌 것 없이 모두를 치워버리죠.
바람 불어오는 대로 짓밟아라.
Honestly, I'm kind of scared by that compass because it means I can expect them to be doing really dirty things in the future with this.
다음은 어디로?
시도는 좋았어요.
Oh yeah, there's that Nether Sea brand that we're not going to give them a chance to use.
일기당장. 바람 불어오는 대로 짓밟아라.
Okay, so there's an important lesson for me. The first person is the only person to get to hit the unbreakable target. But yeah, warning.
이런 임무는 뱀 중에서도 내가 제일이지.
囚人の皆さんの状態に何か変化が。
행색이 이상하나.
This guy we gotta be cautious with.
맞어. 내가 아시의 이상을 함께 줬던 호위 이상이요.
Oh fuck. You jerks! Although maybe that's just my poor choice of targets. I still want to blame you for it.
일기당천.
시비수에게 명하라. 이 안에 숨쉬는 자 누구 하나 살려보지 마라. 놈이 푸름을 틔울 수도
敵に対して大きな打撃を与えました。
혈액도 봐라.
최근은 좋았어요. 이제 깨지시게.
모든
ドクター
것을
のように
견뎠어.
優れた式ですね。
I'm not entirely sure whether I should trigger this guy early so I can get it killed before these things go off, or I should preserve my strength and only wait until I'm certain that there won't be any netherbrand for it to sit on. Oh, that's where the negative 0.5 to all resistances. So unless it's gloom damage, it's actually dealing at a disadvantage on its elements, even though you've got the physical weaknesses up. Well, I suppose we do have some gloom damage in here.
한화 휴재. 개인의 골몰지
What was
마시오.
that thing again?
전장에 전념하시오.
2 or more, so we actually do want to keep him kind of zippy. Right, I don't think we've used Tidal Elegy yet.
일기당천.
Lesson learned. Even if it is gloom damage, if the skill is bad, then it's not making a difference.
미친놈이구나.
効果的な攻撃でした。敵は深手を負っています。
Does this remove your sloth weakness? No, it does not. I mean, we'll have to do it sooner or later. Okay, it's time for some targeting finagling, I think. It's honestly that I simply don't like how long this idiot is staying up for. Or rather... No, what I'm saying is... He's very tanky, so I feel like I maybe should be starting to beat on him now. Although he is going to get a free shot off on someone I'm not expecting to, because Ishmael isn't the first one to hit him.
눈부시지 않다고 두려워하지 마. 혈압도 바로.
Oh wait, is that a single target strike?
한눈 팔지 마세요. 내 말은 당신에게
I think that's bonus damage.
반드시 밀려올 테니.
Yep, I see the extra coin power there. Forced is only up to 5 sword, darn it. I need to remember, if I want Force to get her bonus attacks off, she needs to be first in line, not Sinclair, even though it is very fun to get Sinclair to jump in on that. Yikes, that's not nearly as much damage as I'd have liked. One more line breaker and then we're golden. Although I guess throwing in assist defense is also how you're expected to do this. You can take the interception, so everyone else... That goes to Heathcliff, and this goes to trying to damage this guy while we do have his defense level down a bit. And if it doesn't work, we'll have turn 2 with the slash weakness. Yeah, that's what we'll call it. A unique battle strategy. Oh, you know what? I bet Sinclair killed the guy that we were going to get the assist defense shield from. Actually, if I keep feeding Gregor the unbreakable coins, it should be giving him tiny boosts to Man in Scabbard. That'll be nice.
エリートオペレーター並みの腕前です。
And yep, there comes the Nether Sea. You can take the first one. Five Line Breaker. Actually, wait. Bonus Gluttony damage. Super Gluttony Resonance. Yes, it is kind of a style, but we have 27 in Gluttony and 12 in Envy even after using it. I think we can afford to use a holiday.
잘 생각해보라고.
더는 못 따라나.
Oh, it's the Brown Shield Lord's Guard. I don't recall it ever showing us what the type is.
얼마든지 또 제쳐라. 내 앞을 달리시오. 아시다. 는 그리할 수 있어.
불끈의 지원을
He's still going! The ones that generate Nether Sea, you're probably not going to kill by accident because they're very tanky.
뚫어보이겠어.
Yeah, the negative 0.5 to all resistances is a lot. Why is the Nether Sea brand back again? Does this thing take time to charge? Actually, you know what? Because we used it and then killed one of the little guys, that's probably what did it. So let's see if we can kill this guy before he gets a chance to attack, maybe?
너냐?
깨치시길.
혈액을 봐라. 몰아넣었으니 더는 못 따라나. 좋은 선물이 되겠군.
모든 것에 견뎠어.
このまま行けば敵を食い止められます。
Okay, Nether Sea brand. Take nervous impairment, unfortunately. But only at turn end, so we still do have a chance to get rid of this nonsense.
혈액도 바로.
Moving the Heisho away from Deathrite did slightly nerf Forced.
얘는 처리했고
깔끔하게 물었군.
Mission accomplished.
I was hoping that she'd retreat and then someone new would come in to get their SP back, but oh well. Through the ocean wind blowing between... Whoa, I just realized what time it is! It is way past usual time to end the episode. Okay, let's get on with it. Through the ocean wind blowing between white buildings, someone stands with a lamplight and looks around, the bloom illuminating the piles of sea monster corpses. Given the clear similarities between his and Irene's outfit, he must be an Inquisitor too. What are civilians doing out here on the front lines? An Inquisitor is leading our evacuation? Wrath Gloom. So we need to win 3 flips here. Or 2 of 2 flips here. I think we need to go for the 3 flips. Ah, the Inquisitor must have been leading you out of here. You seem quite new, Inquisitor. Do keep up the good work. But before you go, would you please take this lamp to the Inquisition? Please tell them there was an Inquisitor who walked through the mists, his trials, and eventually made his country his fate. The lamp is bright and warm. This must be what the Inquisitors of Iberia are fighting the ocean to keep lit. We take the small but weighty lamp and continue. Brilliant lamplight obtained! Only to the identity with the earliest deployment order. The first attack skill to be used gains 3+ final power. If the attack skill was an ego skill, it instead gains 4 final power and deals 25% damage. If this unit has nervous stacks, consume up to 4 stacks of it but gain stack consume burn. That would be interesting with LCE Forced, I guess. Too bad I don't have her. Next time we're probably going to tackle the boss. So until then guys, take care, I'll see you all around.